What's going on, everyone? Donovan here with the Donovan Show. Hey, I wanted to get back into the life pages here for season 4. I think it's been a while since I've done one, but it's kind of a time where I share a personal story of life, whether presently or mainly from the past, and kind of look back at it. But today I want to share about, because it's kind of still residue from Halloween this week, still going on. I wanted to share about a job that I used to work. I was kind of like in between jobs. A relative of mine was a funeral home director, and so I would do work for them. I would do receptionist work, cleaning work, and at times that would be specific cleaning work, not just general, but specific cleaning work where I would help clean out the back room where the bodies would come in. So just to scrub all the tables down and things like that, heavily with some bleach and some other powerful ingredients, just to sterilize everything. And I would see some interesting things coming in that back room. I saw a body with had autopsy with a Y incision, and that was definitely interesting as they were getting the bodies prepared for funerals coming in. I also did kind of errands, washing the car, and just running different places for my boss at the time. But the main thing that was interesting and I want to talk about today are spending nights working security there. When you have a funeral the next day, you got all the preparations, got all the things set up. I would help set up the chairs and everything for that particular funeral. The building had different rooms, and we had this long corridor that you would walk down, and just, it would be these rooms, of course, where we have the funerals at. So when you have the casket and everything set up, things set up for a memorial, it's usually set up the day before, at least the night before. So it needs to be guarded. And that would be my job, pretty much, walking the grounds, mainly inside, but walking the grounds to make sure everything is still good every hour. Just once an hour, walking the corridor, turning lights on in the room, just to make sure things are okay, they're still looking good. An interesting thing about that is when you're guarding a funeral home at night, that adds a very scary element to it, because so I always imagine when I work nights there, if the short guy with the two flying balls, you know what movie that is, if they're gonna come, around the corner while I'm walking the corridor and mess with me, but that never happens, so that's good. But the nights at the funeral home were always interesting, because walking that long corridor, and the way the corridor was designed is that I would be upstairs, where there's a kitchen, there's a lounge, you can watch TV and things like that. I'll be upstairs, then I come down these stairs, and then I walk through the office area. Then when you walk through the office area, there's this corridor. And on the corridor, when you walk down the corridor to your left, there are the rooms where the funerals are. And to the right, there's the doors to the front of the building. So when I walk that corridor, I would look out the front doors to make sure no one's in the parking lot, no cars in the parking lot. But mainly I would go into the rooms, walk up and down the aisle, make sure the chair is looking good, make sure the casket is looking good, make sure everything is set up the way it's supposed to, the way I saw it the last hour. And that was my job, just nights at the funeral home working security. And I'm glad I worked it when I did, because if I would have worked it probably 3 or 4 years before that, I would have been I couldn't have did it. I wouldn't have made it, because just my imagination and just storylines from horror films would have messed with me big time. So yeah, I wanted to share that that story with you today. Just a life page, and just looking back on it, it was a fun time because my boss trusted me to do that. That's not an easy task to do, and it's not something that anybody would want to do, guard bodies or be responsible for certain things during the nighttime in a funeral home. So I really appreciated my boss at the time to guard and trust me with that. Um, and also looking back, it just, reminds me of how I grew, how a lot of fears that were in my mind, or a lot of fears that kind of plagued me, beforehand, were gone. So I appreciate God for giving me that strength and that overcoming that. That was definitely a blessing to work that job and to overcome those things. Well, guys, that's my life page for today. Get ready, Detroit Radio is coming up. It's a 3-parter, and I'm gonna need your help. I'm gonna need your help. Talking to all the Detroit heads, all the people who grew up in the in the late 70s to 80s. I'm gonna need your help for this. But that's my video for today, guys. Donovan out. Peace.